So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these tiny little pumpkins that are so cute for fall. They will add the cutest little touch to whatever you're making. They're made from the bullion stitch, and for these in particular, I have embroidered them onto a headband. I thought this was so cute. I seen a picture on Pinterest and was really sad when I learned it was AI and there was actually not a pattern. So I did my best to recreate what I seen. I'm using the Friends cotton. The cream one is actually crocheted with 2 strands, but this chocolate colored one is just 1. So without further ado, I'm going to show you how to do the bullion stitch to make these adorable little pumpkins. You're going to want to make sure you have about a yard or more, I think. I probably did a little less, I think, in this video, but make sure you have about a yard. My pumpkins are about 2 rows in length, and I did a half double crochet back loop only kind of textured pattern for this headband, so that gives me those little ridges. But about 2 rows long, and then you're going to go underneath and through the top stitch that you've decided you want your pumpkin to start at, or where you want the top of your pumpkin to be. Make sure you have a long enough tail to at least pull or hold on to in case you pull a little too much. And then you're going to go down to that bottom as directly underneath as you can get. It doesn't have to be perfect, and go right back up through that top stitch. Do not pull your needle all the way through. You want to just hold it in place, and this can be a little bit tricky until you get the feel for it. So you're going to leave it there and then wrap around the needle. Do not wrap it too tight. I've made this mistake and it makes it so much harder. You'll be surprised by how loose you can actually wrap the yarn around the needle. Do it 10 times. And then you're going to kind of pinch and pull the needle through. And just pull it all the way through until you get to the end. And then pull that towards you. And then you're going to kind of adjust it to how you want. For the first one, I do like to go in and pull that back tail to tighten it and just make sure that it's secure in the way I like it. But the wonderful thing about these pumpkins is they're not perfect, and that is what makes them so cute. And here I'm just adjusting it, making sure it's not too tight, but also not too loose to where it's like, it's not going to be cute, I guess, like if that makes sense. Just making sure that I like the placement. And then we're going to go right back into those same stitches that we just did that first bullion stitch into. So going through that bottom one and then going out through the top, making sure you don't pull that needle all the way through and don't grab the threads that are coming out of the bottom of the needle. You want to grab the thread that's coming from the bottom of the stitch that you just made. So we're going to wrap it around 10 more times, and then if it does start to fall or come off the top of your needle, just push it down. Again, these do not have to be super duper tight because you will struggle to pull it out and through. So again, just pull it straight up, and then once it's down, you're going to pull that tail towards you and then tighten it, and it gives you these cute little kind of swirly looking stitches to create the pumpkin. So now we're going to do the 2 outer, I guess, ridges of the pumpkin. And for these ones, you're going to wrap around 14 times instead of 12. And this is to give it its little shape, like making sure the outer edges are slightly longer so it looks like an actual pumpkin. If you don't wrap around exactly 10 or 14 times, that's not a big deal either. I have accidentally cut less than I needed, so I didn't have enough yarn, and I've done 8 and 10 or 10 and 12. Again, the beauty of these is they're all going to look a little different, just like real life pumpkins. They're all different shapes when you go to a pumpkin patch. And I just think it makes it so unique and super cute. A little trick I like to do is actually take that tail and wrap it around the side that I'm going to put that stitch on, so that way I can hide it after it's made. And then to kind of help keep it secure and tight, I always go behind the needle and then wrap it around. That way I know where it's going to be. Sometimes you may have to adjust the thread a little bit as you're pulling. And again, I did not cut enough yarn for this particular stitch, so I am struggling a little bit here and had to shorten my needle to even get it done. Don't be like me. It's always good to have more than less, and you can always save your ends or whatever and use them to stuff other projects later on. So now we are going to secure this cute little pumpkin and just adjust it so that you like the way it looks and lays. And I just think it's so cute. I think I would probably make another one of these and do orange pumpkins because I would love to see how that looks on the brown. But here you have it. And I just think these are so cute, especially for fall. So to secure it, we're going to go down through that same stitch we were already working through, the bottom one. And because my needle is already pulled off, I'm going to use my crochet hook to go up and just pull it through. And then I like to secure these with a square knot. Don't try the first one too tight because you don't want to ruin your pumpkin, but the second and the third I like to gradually tighten. That way I can make sure that these aren't going to come undone in case it's a gift for somebody and they can be handled. So next I'm going to be showing you how I do my stems. So I like to come out at the top of the stitch, like the stitch you were already going through to make the pumpkin. And I actually only do mine one stitch wide. So I will come out one stitch above where that is. And then I'll go back through the same bottom stitch. And then out the top. And I do this a total of 3 times. And on the back, I tie them exactly the same. You can do 2. I like to do 3 just to be sure and make sure it's extra secure. But yeah, it's not too difficult. I think the stems are the easiest part. I like to wait to the end and just do them all at once. And so here's the finished product. I am absolutely obsessed with these headbands and think they are just so cute for fall. I hope this video was super easy to follow along and to see you back soon.